Praviana, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Just give us perhaps a bit of background to these dialogues.
Thank you, Vuyo. May I please start by wishing all the women in this country a wonderful Women's Month. And on behalf of the South African Women in Dialogue, we sincerely hope that the events in this month will make some difference to the lives of our women. Okay.
So the background to how these sessions came about and why you decided to partner with UN Women and Unisa.
So SAWID originated around about 2003, set up by Mrs. Mbeki, who was then in the spousal office in the presidency. And we started out first then in a peace dialogue with women in the DRC, because you know the war that was going on there. We've had a number of dialogues over the years, provincial dialogues, regional dialogues, culminating in a national dialogue for many years, 1,200 strong women coming together at the University of Pretoria for 5 days. In the more recent years, some 3 years back, SAWID signed a memorandum of agreement with Unisa through the Unisa Women's Forum and the Unit for Gender Studies. And that's the partnership that actually expires at the end of this month, which has been renewed for another 3 years. And one of the secondary partners to that MOU is UN Women. And of course, these three partners have a crucial role to play in helping to change the lives of women in this country for the better, but also mobilizing key stakeholders and partners to play a role in that process and outcome.
And when you look back at the past 3 years, what stands out from what you've been doing?
For me personally, having served as the first national coordinator in SAWID many years ago, the one thing that's always pervaded the space in which we work is the fact that SAWID has been a non-partisan organization. It cuts across the political spectrums, across race, across age, and we even have men who participate. So it was not just about women. So I think the fact that we've been able to remain in some sense impartial, no hidden agendas, no ulterior motives. We're there to represent.
But also broken the ideological and political barriers. I see there was a great deal of focus this time around on entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs in particular. Why that, and what is it that you're really trying to highlight or bring to the fore?
Vuyo, much has changed in this country, much is still changing, but many things have remained the same. For me personally, today it was a shock to hear that our government alone procures services to the value of 1.2 trillion rands a year, of which only 9% goes to women, when women make up 51% of our population. Now that's a scary statistic. And when you put it like that, I mean, it's clear that very little has been, is being, and may continue not to be done to empower women economically. Today, women believe that they're innovative, they have resilience, two very key ingredients to be good entrepreneurs, okay? But so much still has to change around that to enable women to take their true place in economic growth and development in this country and in the world. That's not unique. There are only 10 countries in the world, in developing countries, for instance, where there is no gender gap in entrepreneurship. We're not one of those countries.
Now, I mean, you've been having these dialogues for years. You've been saying, and data has been coming out. I mean, another interview I'm doing a little later on, some really scary stats. I mean, no woman leading any of the top 40 listed companies in South Africa. Women directors, although there's been improvement over the years, but it's not been much. Even though everybody says they realize the need to have these women take their rightful places. The question is, at what point do we stop talking and maybe name and shame, maybe call on those who pay lip service to this to actually do the right thing, or get out, or what needs to be done now? Because, I mean, we've been doing this talking for so many years.
Now is the time. First of all, government and the private sector has to start putting its money where its mouth is. We have great policies. The preferential procurement bill is on the table. I'd love to see what's in there.
On paper.
It's on paper. So we have great policies. We know there's more being done to create a more enabling legislative environment. But how does that translate into action? For as long as governments and banks see women and the sectors, economic sectors that they participate in, such as the food industry, the retail sector, beauty, as non-bankable economic sectors, and for as long as women are not being given the same opportunities to enter into male-dominated sectors such as mining, construction, technology, software, etc., that's never going to change. So we're going to have to bite the bullet, and we're going to have to say, things have to change. We're going to have to take the risk. Women are bankable. That is why some of the most successful microfinancing institutions in the world put most of their resources into women, because women pay back their loans. More money enters the family when women are responsible for generating that income. So we have to learn from what other parts of the world are doing, and we have to say, now is the time, let's bite the bullet. It's risky, but we are prepared to invest in that risk to make that difference once and for all.
That's where we're going to leave it for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for coming through.